Well, you might have wondered why all the changes. Well, we just thought we'd never worshiped in the morning, except on special holy days. And it was brought to my attention that maybe it was time for a change. And the Father had told me to be more flexible, and so I'm more flexible. Now, why did we worship the way we had worshipped? We worshiped the way we had worshipped because it was the tradition of the original Nazarene. They would come casually to the house of study at between 3 and 4, and then they would stay until the closing of the Sabbath. And that was a good tradition, and I enjoyed it. But sometimes we need to be, like I said, more flexible, and so we've decided to have the services beginning at 10 o'clock, which is customary in this country. And so see how you like it. And we will be having Torah class immediately after the communal meal. So if you're wondering when we're going to do that, that's when we're going to do it. Amen. Today, I want to bring to you a message entitled, A House of Gods. This is what I saw out my door, or out my window, from my hotel room. This house of God served the neighborhood in which my hotel was located. You can see it has a temple. It has a idol in the middle of it. And you can see the altar in front of it, along with those offerings that were made by those on their way to work that morning. These people in Thailand are very religious. But what does the word say? You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make unto you any graven image, no idol, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. It says Exodus 20:3-4. Now that is the very first commandment. But in Thailand, they worship their king as a god. In fact, it was illegal for me, punishable by 50 years in prison, if I said anything derogatory about the king of Thailand. All over the country are these pictures, even on the overpasses above the streets. As I left Thailand, the king and his wife, the queen, was waving to me from what looked like a window, a huge window, telling me to return as soon as I could. That's creepy. But they worship everything. But that king to them is their Jesus, their man God. But they also worship other gods. Now this was the picture you just saw, the picture of the king worshipped. Behind there is this God made out of solid gold in the public square. They're not hiding their religion. They're parading their religion. They worship just about anything. I mean anything. You can even buy gods in the mall. Look how futuristic their mall is. That is a Trinitron screen that tells you the local advertisements along with a periodic message from the king and a blessing. As you can see, their cars are quite modern and their malls are something else. You can buy these gods. This is made out of emerald, encrusted with rubies, sapphires, and white sapphires. This one's made out of onyx, along with white sapphires and rubies and gold. This one's made of some white sapphires and blue sapphires. They are a beautiful sculpture. But before you get sucked into its beauty, remember this is an idol. Now, one of the first things I noticed in Thailand was these ornate small houses in front of nearly every home, business, and building. Even in front of the Ford dealership, it was all chrome and modern. Well, in front of their dealership was this chrome, modern house of gods. So I asked Elder Simon, what is all these? And he said, these are spirit houses, or houses of gods. You can even buy them at your local home improvement store. And much of the fruit that we eat, whether we realize it or not, many of it comes from Thailand and other countries in the Middle East, And so they have already anointed that fruit through this spirit house, or this house of God's. Come on in, Brother Steve and Sister Adele, so you can see the slides. You'll see a lot of the things that I saw in Thailand. Amen. And it reminded me of a story from the book of Jasher. In the 50th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah, Abram came forth from the house of Noah, and went to his father's house. And Abram knew Yahweh, and he went in his ways and instructions, and Yahweh his Elohim was with him. And Terah his father was in those days still captain of the host of King Nimrod, and he still followed strange gods. And Abram came to his father's house and saw 12 gods standing there in their temples. And the anger of Abram was kindled when he saw these images in his father's house. And Abram said, as Yahweh lives, these images shall not remain in my father's house. So shall Yahweh who created me do unto me, if in 3 days' time I do not break them all. And Abram went from them, and his anger burned within him. And Abram hastened and went from the chamber to his father's outer court, and he found his father sitting in the court, and all of his servants with him. And Abram came and sat before him. And Abram asked his father, saying, Father, tell me, where is Elohim who created heaven and earth, and all the sons of men upon the earth, and who created you and me? And Terah answered him, Son, Abram, he said, behold, those who created us are all with us in this house. And Abram said to his father, My Lord, show them to me, please. And Terah brought Abram into the chamber of his inner court, and Abram saw, and behold, the whole room was full of gods of wood and stone, 12 great images, and others less than they without number. And Terah said to his son, Behold, these are they which made you, all you see upon the earth, and which created me and you and all mankind.